yeah, we both baked. Stirring the pot, but it's only halfway. Innocent, just wanna ride on my butt. But I can't, it's real this time. Ain't no turning back, it is going down. Yeah, baby, I've been thinking of you. It's kinda obvious that you have to. Now let's go. If you want it, you got it. Now close your eyes and make a wish, lady. We'll be swimming all night. They was yelling out, danger, danger. What's wrong with me? I'm cold. I had a room leaning like a 6'4", turning down Melrose. I leave it how your mom yelling like the street lights on when you're not home. This moment's so electrified. She's smoking like the bed's on fire. Guaranteed to know what you like. Back to back sessions, this girl, you wreck my mind. Your girl keep telling me your girl keep telling me my.
Oh, live from Old Town to Yo Town.
What my uncle. Your girl keep telling me your girl keep telling me my good love. My good love apparently Jesus. What my uncle. 9 times out of 10 I make you vengeful. The other percent I turn you to an info. By throwing it deep, I'm trying to reach the end zone. You keep telling the ref to tell him slow the tempo. Girl, you better run with it. I keep making the drum, you think I brought a gun with me. With my hand on your hips, girl, you better dip with it. Tip 100 degrees when I throw my tongue in it. I thought you asked for this. It's real this time. Ain't no turning back, it is going down. Yeah, baby, I've been thinking of you. It's kinda obvious that you have to. Now let's go. If you want it, you got it. Now close your eyes and make a wish, lady. We'll be swimming all night. They was yelling out, danger, danger. What's wrong with me? I'm strong. I had a room leaning like a 6'4", turning down Melrose. I leave it how your mom yelling like the street lights on when you're not home. This moment's so electrified. She's smoking like the bed's on fire. Guaranteed to know what you like. Back to back sessions, this girl, you wreck my mind. Your girl keep telling me your girl keep telling me my good love apparently deserves what my uncle. Your girl keep telling me your girl keep telling me my good love apparently deserves what my uncle. Steaming like a heat wave. Just give me my receipts and I'll be on my way. I'm clocking on the E-way. Spilling iridescence up on the souls. I know Yahweh.
It's Friday night, so you know what that means. We Dirt Coasting with Dirtcoast Podcast. It's OG Low D and me, Garland Green. Tune in, turn up, drop out.
Now that's real. You can blame it all on me. It's okay that you shake it. Just remember, don't break your mama. Next time it might cost you a fee. You only get one time, you'll never get my money. You know everything I want you to know. You may think that I'm crazy, just admit I'm amazing and move on. See, now I got the world in my hands. There's no limit to the things that I want. I gotta go and tell them now. I'm gon' get it. I made up my mind, now I ain't gon' pivot. I stayed on my grind, I ain't playing no games. But ready to play the fool when I wished I did it. I gotta tell them. So what? I stand on business. You witness my fall, now it's time to bear witness. But try to steal the shine, better give it up when you're dealing with the prayers of the righteous.
This is confident masculinity in the land where they have planned to lessen our energy. Nah, this black king will glow everywhere I go. Self-esteem was low until I started whistling kettle pots. It's tea time, I'm tapping the wrist like Damien. Fornicating, I came to win in my rhythm circadian. Pronoun compliment, she said I'm him for real. Every verse is quality when you bargain with me, you know the deal. When I show up, I show out. I prefer to show you what I'm talking about. It's in my nature to style on them, it's in my genes. So it seems y'all been in trouble from the start. Don't be mad at me, blame God. How I'm evenly balanced and still overcame odds. My aura exposed facades. So with or without involvement, we coming for all of this. Salute turns in Xavier.
So what? I'm gon' get it. I made up my mind, now I ain't gon' pivot. I stayed on my grind, I ain't playing no games. But ready to play the fool when I wished I did it. I gotta tell her. So what? I stand on business. You witness my fall, now it's time to bear witness. But try to steal the shine, better give it up when you're dealing with the prayers of the righteous. you hear this, vibe with no limit. When you get it, the sky is the limit. When you hear this, vibe with no limit. When you get it, the sky is the limit. When you hear this, vibe with no limit. When you get it, the sky is the limit. When you hear this, vibe with no limit. When you get it, the sky is the limit. So what? I'm gon' get it. I made up my mind that I ain't gon' pivot. I stayed on my grind, I ain't playing no games. I'm ready to play the fool when I wish I did it. So what? I stand on business and witness my fall. Now it's time to bear witness. I try to steal the shine, better give it up. When you're dealing with the prayers of the righteous.
JC Black, Dirtcoast Podcast. We the business.
What's happening, man? It's the boss hippie Jace Cook, writer, director extraordinaire, coming at you live. Hey, man, y'all go check out the movies Levels. Go check out the Beautiful Horror series. Go back and check out City Beautiful. Go check out Beautiful Christmas, man. Just go check them all out, man. We're coming at you live. Dirtcoast Podcast, Goulash, representing one time. Shout out D-Rod, Los. We here, man. Hey, UP.
Oh, live from Old Town to Yo Town.
We back. This is your boy, Professor Los. I ain't Dirtcoast Los tonight. I am Professor Los, and I am in the building. How y'all like that Dirtcoast University, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're going to do a little different tonight, you know what I'm saying? My Robin is not with me tonight, you know what I'm saying? He's still doing this thing tonight, you know what I'm saying? One time my boy Gigi, Billy, fucking Goat, he usually would be sitting right over here in our old building to my left. right? Which would be his right, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to get my bro back in the building in a couple more weeks or months, you know what I'm saying? He's doing his thing. I don't know if he's in Seattle tonight. I don't know if he's in Washington tonight. But one time for my boy, Billy fucking Goat GG, you know what I'm saying? We're going to wish him the best things going out there. And I can't wait till he get back in the spot to come holler at his boy, because, you know, I miss him, okay? Yeah. So we appreciate everybody that's back in the building tonight. Like I said, tonight's segment, you see, damn, that's a nice little background. Professor Los, oral traditions. We're going to get into this thing tonight, and hopefully I can spark some brains and open up some different concepts about what's going on, because I'm pretty sure tonight when we get through with this here, you're going to see a different outcome. And y'all heard that theme song when I was playing? I got to play that theme song one more time if we can. You know what I'm saying? What my theme goddamn song? That be right there. Yeah, you hear that there? Yeah, listen to the words of that. That's ancient too, y'all, before we get into this thing tonight too. Yeah. You know, these are ancestors. It's called the Black National Anthem. If you want to, because tonight while we're in class, you should be having your phones. You should be having your drinking things that we get on. Whatever you need to get in your groove, you know what I'm saying? Sit back, and we're going to get through this little lesson tonight, okay? With oral traditions. Live at, Dirt Coast University. Yeah, we're going to get it going, man. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to rock and roll. We're going to learn some things. We're going to get into it, and we're going to see what's going tonight. A lot of people been calling, like my dog said, dog, what you doing tonight? So, you know, I got to talk that thing tonight, man, get back on the learning lesson thing, bro, we usually do. So we're going to get right into it. But before we get into it tonight, we will go fly our flags at half staff tonight for the memorial that happened in Minneapolis, Minnesota, with them babies and the shooting. Y'all ain't heard about that. So before we kick this thing off tonight, we will give since everything 8, when y'all go read by there, you see 8 gonna be popping up a lot. So we're gonna give good 8 seconds of silence for the tragedy that happened in Minneapolis, Minnesota. 8 seconds. Boom. We are back, and I hope it was quiet. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that thing went off, but yeah, that's a tragedy, man. So I was talking some months back too about the things that was gonna take place in the schools, in the coming schools, right? Even if you look at the attendance of school, me and some people was talking, because I got people in the building I got some people in the building tonight, okay? But we was talking off camera before this thing started up, and he's saying that that they were withdrawing. A lot of kids done been, withdrawing schools, and some people getting smart, because I was just thinking about, damn, man, they going up in, they were babies, okay? And I think they're learning more. Now, like these days and time, you don't have to, man. Y'all know y'all can homeschool, or you could do things like, I know a lot of people work and whatnot, maybe your schedule not be doing, but you can have, there's certain ways you can kind of like get around, because I think the school system's failing the kids any motherfucking way. Shit, half of these schools now, you got to go inside the schools. They got to have book bags, and they have to go through like they going through the damn airport with the things, checking their bags and checking their book bags and stuff. I said school now for the 3 F's: fucking, fighting, and fashion. Cause I don't even think they ain't learning a lot of stuff. They learn most of their shit on TikTok and on social media stuff now, and on cartoons and stuff. So just be careful, man, about the school things too. And while we're speaking on schools, we got to do what we got to do. We still gonna give a shout out to the local athletes out there tonight, because we got some high school games going on tonight that they wanted me to give a shout out to some of these local high schools. God dang, you wrote this stuff small. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. This, they do the over and unders on this shit too? I can't read this stuff. So they got Dr. Phillips over University. Yeah, they do this in the high schools too. So I'm guessing what this is. Develand, they got over New Smyrna. I thought it was going to be Central Florida. I just see Jones right here. Okay, Lake Mary. What about some, I don't see Jones. Who Jones got tonight? We got They got Ocoee 36 over Olympia. Those two. They do have Seminole over Heritage. I think Jones just got in on them. I did see a Jones somewhere, whatever class 7A. I'm going to just run through a couple of these local. You got Evans over Apopka. Yeah, they got Evans over Apopka. Evans must be pretty good. I've been hearing a lot of people saying things about Evans, but Evans must be pretty good this year. You know what I'm saying? Who else they got? Oviedo, that's kind of like out the way a little bit, but okay, they got Oviedo over Sickles. The other day, I never even heard of that. 3A, we'll see if we're going to drop down. I don't know none of these. 3A, 4A. I don't know none of these. 4A. Okay, so it is what it is. Who Jones got, man? I don't see Jones nowhere on here. I usually like to give a shout out to Jones and Oak Ridge. I don't see nothing about Oak Ridge. Got my nephew on Oak Ridge. I don't see them on there either. Dr. Phillips. Can I find one of them real quick if I can? If I can't, y'all forgive me when I catch up with them next week. Plus next week when we get back, we got I think my boy Deuce will be in the building where we'll be actually shooting a movie and doing a live podcast at the same time. So we're going to have some things going on. Got a lot of stuff that's been going on in the near future. Okay? So appreciate you. We're going to get into this this lesson. And today is also the anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. Okay, so damn, 20 years, that was 20 years ago. Hurricane Katrina happened today, 20 years ago. That was something big. Matter of fact, I got a partner, we call him Hurricane. I met him when they were moving him around. He's still in Orlando to this day. What's up, my boy Hurricane? And man, if you are, a lot of that stuff coming out about some of the tragedies that were happening there, man, like they said the police were actually shooting a lot of these people. They say it was people dressed up as firemen that really wasn't firemen, and they was getting the kind of like, people thought they were firemen, and they would think they were being rescued, and they was raping them and taking them other places. Just a lot of untold stories about that thing that was happening in Katrina, man, and how they was trying to walk. Some people was trying to walk and get away from out the bridge, and the police from the next town stopped them and made them go back. Like crazy, like 20 years ago. And some of these stories are, it's just coming out. It's kind of crazy. But one time for the people of hurricanes, Trina, the survivors of that, as well as the deceased, man, because a lot of stuff they do to us, they hide it and they conceal it until a lot of the people, they die off, or a lot of people don't be caring about it, 20 years later. So I guess that's why they release a lot of these information. But we should care. You know what I'm saying? And the ones, there's still people living from that thing that happened to them too. So I don't know what we can do as a group, but damn, man, it's crazy. Hurricane, if you out there, dog, reach out to me, man. Cause I reaching that thing, that shit fucked me up, bro. I didn't know that shit was that fucked up, okay? So even with voting too, we talk about the voting and stuff. How long we been voting? How long y'all think we've been voting? We've been voting for 30, 40 years, easy, right? 40, 50 years, easy, vote. Think it's done anything for us as a whole? Like, have anything really got better? Like they tell us, go vote and things will get better. Have things really got better for us as a whole? To be honest with you, I think it's got worse. Matter of fact, improvement's gonna got worse. And so today's lesson tonight, right, in this college thing we got going on. Wham, Dirtcoast University right there. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before we came in, that Dirtcoast flag with the theme song, that is our ancient anthem. It's called the Black National Anthem. If you got time, you're on your phones, you're close by, you can Google that on your own time. It's called the Black National Anthem. You guys should go pull that up. See the words to that song. You remember Colin Kaepernick was kneeling to the flag and all that stuff? And right, we had our own flags too. So, I mean, I don't know why they didn't dart none and nobody didn't think about it. None of this stuff ever came up. But just go Google the Black National Anthem and see the words in it on your own time. And that's our ancestry song. So we do have our own flag. We have our own. That's not the original flag. That's the flag I made for the flag right there. That's the flag I made for the college, just to give, to get into the theme of the whole Dirt Coast Alumni University, what we doing. But, yeah, if you're on your phone, Google up the Black National Anthem. When you get time, just Google the words and see what we're really going on. The national anthem that they do, the national anthem that we learned in the schools is really not, it's actually for the people that was fighting our ancestors. So that was part of what Colin Kaepernick was kind of kneeling for the flag and all that. So, boom. So tonight's topic, as you see on the board behind me, Dirt Coast Low, oral traditions. You see that right there on the board? Wham. Let me put it up on the screen. Wham. Oral traditions, okay? Oral traditions is the method of transmitting knowledge, history, and cultural elements through spoken words across generations rather than through written records. Because we know what they do with records, okay? But we'll get to that later on in the lesson, okay? This dynamic process encompasses various forms like stories, myths, songs, proverbs, serving to preserve cultural values, maintain social order, and provide insight into a community world view. Oral tradition is found in all cultures and it often contains universal themes using literacy devices like personification and hyperbole to teach moral lessons and create cultural cohesion. Okay? That's oral traditions. And that's what we're going to get into tonight. And that's what we're going to try to get some insight. And I'm going to give you guys, hopefully, I could get some understanding into what oral traditions really speak of. Let me break this down in layman terms, okay? Now, we have two different types of things. When I'm speaking of we, I'm talking on cultural living, okay? When I speak of we, I'm talking about ghetto, the hood, my people, okay? We had two kind of like things we have to do as when we growing up. We have this thing called oral traditions. Then we have this thing called, once we get into schools, when they start teaching us elementary traditions, kind of like what we grew up with, when they start breaking us from how to be in elementary school, from kindergarten, first grade, with sit down, stop, read, write, teach, and all this, okay? Now, when you tap into oral traditions, the method of transmitting knowledge, right? That's when things like, let's say, when I used to talk to my elders in the family, Auntie them, Uncle Melvin them, Uncle Robert them, right? They used to say things like, Grandma Nona, or Grandma Henrietta, or Auntie Claretta, they had hair down to their back. He was Cherokee Indian, okay? We Indian. Grandma them were Indian. You could look at grandma picture, oh, they got pictures of Uncle such and such, and his wife was Indian and such. They told us we was Indian. Oral traditions, okay? That's coming from somebody in the family that's passing down what we call knowledge through ancestry, okay? Where you get that from the elders in the families, oral traditions, okay? But when we got to schools, or when we started, when we got to schools, and sometimes religion did it to us too, they started teaching us things that we came from Africa, okay? And that we was brought over here and that we was enslaved and so on, so on, so on, so on, so on, okay? But when you go back and you tap into the older ancestry, you'll tell them, some of them tell you, bitch, I ain't covering no Africa. Some of your aunties, some of the ones that's right out there tell you, bitch, we wasn't from no motherfucking Africa. They'll cuss you out about it, right? So we had the oral tradition that was coming from the elders in the families. Then we had what we learned in school, okay? Now, one thing about once we get into this thing, you're going to understand the story of the well-dressed lie. I don't know if y'all ever heard that story of the well-dressed lie, okay? One day the truth was undressing to get ready to take a bath, okay? Once the truth got into the tub to take the bath, the bedroom door swung open, the bathroom door swung open, and in walked the naked lie and the naked lie put on the truth clothes. Okay. Now you got the well-dressed lie running from the naked truth. You know what I'm saying? So this is the story of what they call the $5 Indian. You ever heard of the $5 Indian? If not, you take your phones out and you can do just like I do. And you can pull up what they call a $5 Indian. Walking around like a truth, like he the real deal, right? $5 Indian is an Indian context could refer to a Native American depiction of the 1899 U.S. Silver Certificate. $5 Indian, who was a white person fraudulently, when we talk about the naked lie, a white person fraudulently enrolled on the Dawes rolls for what? Land benefits. And of the 5 civilized tribes, the term for the specific Native American nations during the period of forced relocation from the southeastern United States to Indian Territory, okay? To be exact, it was in Florida, y'all. That Dawes Roll thing happened in Florida, okay? Yeah, ground zero, okay? So, remember what I told you about the white lie? So, you had white people who was a white person fraudulently enrolled on the Dawes list. The Dawes list was when they came and enrolled on the ancestors and was taking land, they was letting some of them sign up to be Indians that wasn't even Indians at all, okay? Wasn't even Indian at all. The naked lie, walking around like the truth, okay? And you had white people doing this shit too now. They say right there, it's their words. You can Google this shit. Google it, $5 Indian. Google it, okay? They understood what they were doing, right? It's not a secret. They understood it either. Because if it was a secret, it wouldn't be complaints about it, and in court records. You know what I'm saying? So this record, so that let you know court documents are fraudulent because they let these people pay $5 to say they were somebody else, okay? Just for the benefits to do what? Take the land, okay? For land benefits, okay? So this is how they was getting the land, despite the stories they told us, despite all the other shit they told you how they did it. This is how they was getting the land, okay? And to prove what I say is how they was doing it, you have to go to court cases, okay? And this is one of the oldest court cases on the planet right here that's dealing with what we speaking of, okay? Dred Scott. And you see his name, Dred, right? We're talking about the Dreads. See his name, Dred Scott? Right there. Okay, let's read this shit. Can I pee that motherfucking shit? Can I pee? I don't think I can pee. Yeah, right there. Wham. Okay. Let's see this. Dred Scott, September 17, 1858, was a enslaved African-American man who, along with his wife Harriet, unsuccessfully sued for freedom of themselves and their 2 daughters, Eliza and Lizzie, in the Dred Scott versus Sanford case, okay? Now, this case is still on the dockets to this day, okay? It's the case of 1857, the properly known as Dred Scott decision. Scott claimed that they should be granted freedom because Dred had lived in Illinois, Chi-Town, okay, and the Wisconsin Territory for 4 years, where slavery was illegal, and laws in those jurisdictions said that the slaveholders gave up their rights to slaves, and if they stayed for an extended period, okay? And I'm trying to find this point I'm trying to make. Right here, bam. In a landmark case, the United States Supreme Court decided 7-2, which is 9, okay, against Scott, finding that neither he nor any other person of, we're gonna start right there, of what descent? African ancestry could claim citizenship in the United States, and therefore Scott could not bring suit in the federal court under diversity of citizenship rule. Scott temporary residence in free territory outside Missouri did not bring about his emancipation because Missouri Compromise, which made the territory free from prohibiting slaves north of the 36th parallel, was unconstitutional because it derived citizens of their slave property without due process of law. Okay? Now, today, you see right up under there, although Chief Justice Roger B. Taney hoped to settle the issues related to slavery and constitutional authority by decision, it aroused public outrage, deepened sectional tensions between the North and the South states, and hasted the eventual explosion of their differences in American Civil War. Okay, you know, that kicked off the war thing. So what they were saying with Dred Scott, to break that down into layman terms, what kind of descent? African descent. What he was fighting the courts he was saying he wasn't from Africa. He was saying he wasn't from Africa, right? That was the whole fight of his case, because he was saying, bitch, I am not African. I'm from here, right? So, and he proved later on that, and how he proved it was through what they're trying to go back through, when they took blood rights off the valleys and they started going by what they call civil rights and civil property. First of all, let me see something. Let me give y'all. I did this a while back. I'm gonna let y'all see something. First of all, see between the two. This is what they gave us, okay? This is what we was going. This is what all the fighting and the marching and all the goddamn getting with the water hose and all this stuff was all about, okay? Wham. I'm gonna just give y'all a choice. Would you want these? These civil rights. Civil rights are legally protected right that ensures equal opportunities and treatment for all individuals, guaranteeing freedom from discrimination based upon protected characteristics like race, sex, religion, and disabilities, okay? These rights are secured by government action. These rights are secured by government actions such as laws and constitutional amendments, and ensure participation in civics and political life. Key examples include the rights to vote, a fair trial, what we think about fair trial, people, and non-discriminatory access to housing, employment, and public service, okay? Those are civil rights, okay? Legally protected rights to ensure equal opportunities and treatment for all individuals, okay? Those are civil rights. Do you want those, or would you want these? I don't know which one you would want, okay? Or would you want these? These are called unalienable rights. These are what our ancestors left here, okay? These rights are fundamental rights inherited to all people, okay? Not granted by no government, but by the Creator, and therefore cannot be taken away or transferred. So which one would you want? I'm gonna give y'all the choice. I would prefer these right here, your unalienable rights, over civil rights any motherfucking day of the week, kids. And why y'all kids looking the other way too? Why y'all looking that motherfucker way? Y'all supposed to be looking forward. I think my baby told me that. You did, baby. You damn sure did. You damn sure did, okay? Now, Dred Scott, that case has not been overturned to this day, okay? Right? And remember, people, did I put this on my thing? Can I put this on? Let me see my dog. You know I got this on here. Let me see if I got this on here real quick. I want to show y'all something real quick. This ain't got nothing to do with it. I just thought about something real quick. Dang, I can't show them. Shit, I can't show y'all this. Damn, it's not on there. But I was seeing today, like across town, they was putting up, somebody was getting busted across town. They had the tanks out, and they had all the military equipment and shit out. And I keep trying to tell people, that should be a reminder, man. They never, ever stop warring on us. They just changed the name. You know they call the shit the war on drugs, but those are military equipments coming in the neighborhood that our kids is seeing come in our neighborhood. Military equipment just for like basic bullshit. Sometimes this stuff be getting thrown out. It look crazy. They had the army trucks around, and they be in the 80% of the time it be bullshit. They go in there and find some bullshit. 4-5 grams of soft and 5 grams, 5 bags of weed, just bullshit. 2 pills, but you got military strategic vehicles busting down people's doors, knocking out all the windows. But the reason what we gotta realize is those people, they never, ever, ever stop warring on us, okay? They changed the name. They call the motherfucking shit war on drugs now, okay? So, you can deceive people. You can't deceive no people by once you get on the proof of shit, right? Know what I'm saying? So what they do, they take the proof and they usurp that motherfucker. They get rid of the proof of everything. So they tear all our proof of our shit up. So we have to go dissect the shit. And we have to look deep inside and see where is the truth, okay? Because they always gonna control the narrative every time. They gonna control the narrative just like they control the artifacts. And they tell us different stuff and take different shit, right? So once they control the narrative and control what we think, they control how it comes out, right? Most people walking downtown today in every metropolitan city or any city, like a big city, most of us walking downtown or walking around our cities, we can't even identify with the ancient buildings that's down there. The buildings that our ancestors built, that been there for eternity, right? That it could be a courthouse now, or it could be some church that's sitting downtown in ancient buildings that we don't even know the architectural design, or when we see certain things to remind us, hey man, you know what I'm saying? The Cherokees built that, the Choctaw built that. The Black Hawk tribe built that, you know what I'm saying? The Muskegee tribe built that. We don't know none of these names of our ancient cultures, right? Or which tribe you from, or depending on latitude, South Carolina, or you from South Carolina, you gotta know about the Geechee Gullah. You from Miami, you gotta know about the Seminoles and Osceola. You know what I'm saying? You're in Atlanta, you gotta know about Cherokee. You gotta know about the Choctaw and the Black Hawks. You know what I'm saying? We done lost track of our ancient names or our ancient way to see things that's right in our face because of these people right here. These motherfuckers right here, okay? These folks right here. These some of the nastiest motherfuckers on the planet, okay? And Green, Gigi, he was just up in D.C., so he went and saw some of this stuff firsthand. And he was like, Los, he called me back. He was like, Los, a lot of that stuff you was talking about, bro. When I went to D.C., we went to the Smithsonian and we went into the museum and we saw a lot of that stuff you was talking about it. He said it had got so kind of like overwhelmed with Twan that he couldn't even walk into this certain museum because the energy of it, and it was, I think it was a slave museum or a Holocaust or something like one of the museums where he did a lot of like hanging of slaves or something like that. But he couldn't walk into this museum. And I told Green the reason why he couldn't walk into this museum, because the energy of his ancestors was in there, right? And Twan hold this energy like, bro, he's a bad joker. Right, so I like that's displaying why a lot of the energy he holds towards a lot of group of people. You know what I'm saying? This man controlled a $100,000 march when he was the Malcolm X, kind of like the march. Bro controlled 100,000 something people, right? But he couldn't walk into this museum because the energy was overwhelming. I was telling bro, maybe a residence or an ancestor, you know, picture. He probably gonna go in there and see one of his great ancestors in there. You know what I'm saying? But the Smithsonian, right, is a group of museums, education, and research centers created by the United States government. And what we just seen in the government earlier, what they just told us about the government, okay? for the increase and diffusion of knowledge. You see this, right? Founded on August 10th, 1846. And I told y'all what oral tradition is, but they telling you the Smithsonian is the people that's responsible. So the shit we learn in the schools and the shit that we is seen out in the public when they taking the statues and when they burying and shit, and you hearing about lakes being covered up that used to be cities, that they done made lakes. It's cities actually under lakes. These are the people that's doing this shit, okay? Right? So this founded on August 10th in this month too, 1846. It operates as a trust instrumental and is not formally a part of any of the three branches of the federal government, right? But up there, it says created. It don't even make sense. See, right up there, it says created by the U.S. government. But right down there, it says it's not formally of any part of three branches of the government, because it's the fourth part. That's why, the bullshit. Institution is named after its founding donor, British scientist James Smithson, okay? It was originally organized as United States National Museum, but the name ceased to exist administratively in 1967. Now, them nasty motherfuckers right there, this is what they'll do, okay? They'll take some shit. Okay, look what it said it did. Look what it said. Let me see some of their discoveries. This is gonna trip you out. This some of their discoveries. Let me see, can I pull up some of their discoveries? Smithsonian, what they do. Look here, okay? Now, y'all done heard this name before, right? Y'all know all about King Tut, huh? Y'all done heard his name like a motherfucker. How y'all hearing these names and don't know no deep science on, okay? From these motherfuckers right here, because they want you to hear, they want you to hear the name, but they don't want you to research the shit. The Smithsonian has featured discovery surrounding King Tut through various programs and events, including a lecture series titled King Tut Revisited, an article published by Smithsonian Magazine discussing discoveries and restoration of his tomb and artifacts. While the museum itself does not house the original King Tut's artifacts, okay, it has provided platform for exploring archaeological discoveries. The science, okay, now they over all this shit. They showing us. They say they got all the King Tut shit to show us, shit, but they ain't got the real King Tut shit to show us. What are they talking about? And they over what the schools. They told you education. We read about education, right? Right? Okay. And let me pull up something right real quick too. What they discover, and they want to tell. We know about King Tut. Well, King Tut was over to Africa somewhere, right? Right? And then they told Egypt some goddamn right? But also, these motherfuckers here, the Smithsonian Museum discovery in Kentucky, okay? They discovered something in Kentucky too, y'all. It's called the River Discovery Center in Paducah, which is hosting the Smithsonian American exhibit as part of the Museum of Main Street, okay? The exhibit run from, look, y'all go see this shit too. The exhibit run from August 23rd to September 27, 2025, and explores the intertwining of America's Indian stories with the nation's history and culture. Y'all know nothing about it. They tell y'all about Juneteenth. Y'all don't even know this when they do this shit, okay? So they telling all our good shit, y'all, to they folks. Right now, if we speak, but everybody want to fly to Jamaica, and they want to fly to Alaska, they want to go skiing, and everybody want to go do the same bullshit. But they doing all the good shit right in our face, right? This is shit we should probably be seeing in numbers. We probably be going this shit in numbers, y'all, because they getting all our secrets away, okay? This is one of several locations in Kentucky participating in the MOMS program, which brings Smithsonian exposition to rural cultural organizations, okay? Now, also in Kentucky, I want to show y'all something else too, the reason why they doing it in Kentucky. Remember, we just read about King Tut, okay? Then they doing something big about our shit this month to September in Kentucky, right? The Smithsonian Institute was involved in a 1953 excavation of Assyria, excuse me y'all, I'm nigger, in Kentucky, uncovering human remains that was transported to where? D.C. Why they transporting shit that they finding in Kentucky, y'all, in 53 to D.C. Other archaeologists discovered in Kentucky, including mummified remains found in Mammoth Cave and artifacts of the Wycliffe Mounds, Mounds State's historical site. People, in Africa, the motherfuckers built pyramids. At the same time, we had people over here, they were building mounds. They don't call them pyramids over here, baby. They call them mounds, okay? So in Kentucky, the Wycliffe Mound State Historical Site, they discover a mummified motherfucker, and guess what, y'all? He kind of resembled King Tut, who they told us was in Egypt. Same type tomb, gold like a motherfucker. The tomb had riches in it. It was a little boy, they said he was a king or some kind of chief leader, okay? Remember, earlier, they said that they were bullshitting about King Tut, too, right? But right here, they found this shit, but we know about King Tut, that's way over there. But we don't know about this shit that's over here, okay? Right? That's kind of like, look at that dope, bro. That's kind of like the weirdest shit I ain't ever seen in my life, okay? So, once again, they tell us everything, they would write the script, right? But when we get the facts, they don't want to hold the facts away. So I'm just putting up the shit they saying, okay? Putting up the shit they got going on, right? Okay? So from the historical documents, they telling us that they don't rewrote, what up, bro? They telling us that they don't rewrote all our narratives. They done changed who we was. You know what I'm saying? They used to call us Indian. They used to call us the indigenous, okay? They used to call us the natives, okay? They used to call us the original people of the land, okay? Then they changed us and started calling us Negro. Then they started calling us black. Then they started calling us African American. Then they called us colored. Then they just called them mulatto, etc., 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 okay? And these are just some of the names. So, because they have mixed all the identities up with the rightful people, it's harder for us to kind of identify who we is and who they is. Now, how the fuck we know about King Tut that's way over there in Africa, but we don't know about this king right here that they dug up in Kentucky in 1953, okay? He had just as much gold and shit in his tomb than King Tut. And they flew all that shit to Washington, D.C., right? But you go to D.C., Smithsonian Museum, they got the shit in there. But guess what they're gonna tell you? They're gonna tell you he African. They going showing y'all all that shit in there, and they telling y'all these statues and all these people y'all looking at is from Africa. But them people right from this goddamn soil, okay? Listen, y'all. They gonna acknowledge who we are in their movies, but you gotta be able to look at it and understand, have insight on how they showing the movies, okay? Like I try to tell people about me and Cuz, just to go off film a little bit, off site. I was trying to tell Cuz off thing. I said, you have to look at Django. The character I like in Django is Samuel L. Jackson, okay? Because y'all don't get it. That's the character everybody hate in Django, but they don't have insight to understand it was the game they was playing, right? It was Samuel L. Jackson house the whole time. He wasn't never no slave. It was a joke they was doing, because it's just how you have to trick niggas the whole while, okay? You have to trick niggas the whole while. If niggas, they would work way harder for that white boy than they would ever work for me. I'm a businessman. I done tried it before. When they knew that, when they thought that company was that white boy company, them niggas were coming to work every day. When I let the cat out the bag and told them they were working for me, they called off. They still wanted their full paycheck and all kind of crazy shit. I thought they get crazy, right? As long as they know they were working for that white boy, they thought it was that white boy company, they stand ground, and they was loyal motherfucking workers. It's crazy how that works. Right? You know what I'm saying? So, and we got to remember too, all the shit they was doing to our ancestors in the 40s, in the 30s, remember all that hanging shit they was doing? You got to remember, when they did that to our ancestors, that did something what like the whole Mother Nature thing, it put kind of like a retract on what we did. When they was killing us off, one thing about the people of the land, you can't kill the people of this land off because we got this thing in us that the land itself will respond. So when they was trying to kill us off, sending our people to the wars in the 40s and the 50s, and when they were hanging us, and when it was laws that they were around that they could kill a nigga without going to jail, because they were trying to kill us off. And what happened was, damn, I don't know why my damn thing went off like that. But what happened is, they own me. Boy, they own me. They can't stop the groove. They own it. They own it. Boy, they stopping this bitch like a motherfucker. Did you see what they just did? Yeah, we're gonna keep it moving. Yeah, they try to, but they trying to fuck with this shit. Yeah, they ain't gonna stop that. Know what I'm saying? But when they started killing us off in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s, it was this thing called, an epidemic started attacking the United States, okay? And that epidemic was called teenage pregnancies. Y'all remember that? Teenage pregnancy, it was an epidemic during our time. Girls getting pregnant in high schools and all that shit. It was a whole epidemic. That was the thing. This happened. Proliferating, okay? We started proliferating, increasing rapidly in numbers. We multiplied. Y'all remember Robert Harris, who they killed, knocked off, the chief? He was an ancient chief. He was a comedian named Robert Harris. He created a thing called Baby Kids. He was talking about this, proliferate. We don't die, we do what? We multiply, okay? You can't kill off baby kids. We don't die, we multiply, okay? We proliferate, bitch. We the only people on the planet that do that too, okay? You stomp one of us down, or you knock one of us down, 10 more gonna come up. They've been trying to do this to us forever, okay? They can't stop us. Because the land is ours. They can't kill the land. They can't kill with the land, right? We hardwire into this land from the blood. Our blood is tied into this land. Not what they telling you, despite you might think you from Africa. But I'm going to show you later on in the show that we're not, right? According to what they say too. Damn what I say. Damn what the schools say. We got to go back and go oral traditions. See on the board, oral traditions? Oral traditions is what your ancestors say. Go ask your auntie what we is. They gonna tell you. And some of them so precise, they'll tell you, oh, great grandma had on her back, nigga, we black Seminole Indians, nigga. We Cherokee. They'll tell you the tribe we from. You won't hear them say nothing about no, we came from Africa. Okay? Because if you came from there, you would have to go back. They'd have been sent your ass back. If you came from Africa, your ass would be on that immigration list in Orange County 33rd right now. There's people that went to school over here on their immigration list. It's people right now, they say, man, what you call, went to school over here, man, that's fucked up. They put him on that thing. That nigga wasn't born over here. And guess what? Even if he was born over here, the law with the blood says you have to be grandfathered in. Remember the whole great-grandfather law? Remember grandfather law? Well, you ever heard somebody say I'm grandfathered in? Huh? You ever heard of that? Grandfathered in? That's ancient. That means that they laws override the other laws, okay? They laws was there before them other laws came in, okay? It's called a great-grandfather clause. So for you to be originally from this land, your grandparents have to be from this motherfucking land. Oh, now y'all get it? Now y'all can quit all the bullshit on there talking about why is such and such on the immigration list because she went to school with y'all. That don't matter. Remember, them bitches were coming over here in the 80s when we was in school. And they been over here ever since. We know they were coming on the boat. We ain't say nothing. We would let them come in sunset, and we befriended some of them, and every motherfucking thing. But we knew they came over here on the motherfucking boat, and they just been over here so long, and they been letting this shit pass. But the ones that your grandmama, your granddad ain't from this land, your ass is finna get something back. That's what the laws is. The laws is grandfather law, the great-grandfather law. So when they go test my blood, guess what? They go say, goddamn, his granddaddy them was over here. His great-granddaddy was over here, his great-great-great. They gonna go all the way back my shit. I went back to the, we just traced our thing back. I went back to 1850. I went back to the 1800s. And that's just my little bullshit research. Just think what the blood can do. They pull your blood, they tell you what bone you ate when you were 10. Nigga, they tell you when your first piece of chicken you ate with that blood. Okay? So, compliments to the Smithsonian, they the ones that send the shit to the schools, right? They the ones that took the shit, the artifacts from over here and put them on display in Europe, put them on display all over the goddamn world and say, oh, these niggas from Africa. They Africans, right? Right? They took the paint from the palaces from over here. Do you know 80% of the major prisons were palaces at one time? FSP was a palace. Okay? They taught the Mongolian Indians. Okay, before we get in that, I gotta play something real quick. What that song? Ooh, I gotta play this real quick. They sending shit in. I got people that sending shit in. I can't talk right now. We getting down. I'm gonna show this shit real quick. We getting down. We smoking a little bit. We getting down. I wanna show you what this fool here talking about, okay? People gonna get mad. Well, don't get mad, don't get mad. You gotta pay attention to this boy, okay? Because don't fuck what a bitch say, listen to what they say. I always say, listen to a motherfucker. Let me get this with y'all. Cause we're gonna get into some videos too, just to back up, kind of like what I'm talking about. Wham. Gotta get the sound up.
And they like when they're, called by various
see what it's talking about.
and something special. They don't know why these names are being taken off. They're trying to, I think it's degrading to the Indian population, and it's a great population. And they like when they're, called by various names. Now, Washington, the Redskins, perhaps that's a little bit different, but I can tell you that I spoke to people of Indian heritage that love that name and they love that team, and I think it's I think it's Washington, the Redskins, perhaps that's a little bit different, but I can tell you that I spoke to people of Indian heritage that love that name and they love that team, and I think it's I think it's a superior name to what they have right now, and it had heritage behind it. It had something special.
Y'all remember? Oh, y'all didn't hear that one, huh? Y'all never heard that one before, right? When Trump
The number one mistake of people with nail fungus is take terbinafine instead of trying this military hack. Here's how soldiers clear toenail fungus without med.
Derogatory, right? Redskins. Redskins are an ancient tribe. And they changed into what? The Commanders. The Commanders are the one that killed the Redskins, y'all. But dumb niggas love football, though. Now you got the president saying he giving you hints. He can only talk so much, right? He like, I thought it was a great name. He trying to say, why is this so-called racist white boy saying that? No, y'all should have kept that name up there. Because they saying it's a derogatory name. Redskins are like Blackfoot is an ancient tribe. Right? So everybody getting crazy and he trying to put us on game to try, because they knew our kids and they got the Instagram and the TikToks is telling them, even the red skin. We even say, we call light-skinned people red, don't we? The Cherokees are red. cherries is red. When George Washington chopped down the cherry tree, no, man, that's a tribe. Cherokee, they red in color. A lot of them light skinned. So when you got people throwing you bones, right, you get sidetracked because nobody can produce no fats. They just talking crazy. But you got to go find when he giving the jewels. And there's a lot of that stuff. It's one you could go out there and find when Trump is arguing with a reporter telling them they $5 Indians. And they say, how you know? Who, you an expert on Indians? He said, yeah, because they got big lips and big noses. Go find it. Go find it. Trump argued with a reporter about being an Indian. But nobody never say nothing about that. Okay? When I told you they taking identities and stealing whole identities and saying they us, when Kenny Lamar saying they not like us, he telling you too. All that is ancient, okay? All that is ancient, right? Let me put y'all on something real quick. Okay, let me pull up something real quick. This is what they did. I'm typing so down. I use this type of thing, y'all. Here we go, right here. Wham. We're going to get it. We're going to get through it. Y'all see this right here? Get your ass out of there, man. I'll get that shit out of there. Wow. Can I pull this up? You better hit that picture, right? Look here, y'all. God damn it. Don't do this. Don't do this. Man, why that shit trying to pull that shit up? Yeah, right here. Damn. Trying to get it so it's clear to these pictures. What's it do? See this here? I'm trying to put it up. See this here? Indian training schools. Do y'all see this? Do y'all see this? Okay, this is who Trump talking about, right? I'm gonna just sit there for a minute. The common misconception, right, about Indian school, it was misindoctrinated, right? This is a simulation that they made Mongolian kids. This how they swapped us out. Remember I told you about the $5 Indian? They made them Indians and made us come from Africa while we was already on the land. And they plenty of them. You go, it plenty of them. Let's just look at some of these pictures. Look at some of these pictures of these schools. It plenty of them. Y'all be my guests. Y'all get some time, man. Y'all go back and y'all look at these yourself. Look at all these. You want to see no black faces? None of these. They supposed to be the Indians. These are took our spots. These are the people that let take our spot. Then y'all wonder how the Chinese people could come right over here and come right in our neighborhoods and get to it. And Trump trying to send them up out of here. And how y'all run, how the other people try to come over and get right to it in our neighborhood. They don't go to the white people neighborhood. They're not even allowed to go there. Right? And you niggas, these niggas mad because Ching Wong them. And these people so good, they come over here and they adopt black names for these dumb hoes. I name Tina. Bitch name no goddamn Tina. They even get him whole black names. This shit crazy. Look, see this? They teach all the motherfuckers and they give them our culture. They give them our culture, okay? And they give us bullshit, tell us we were slaves and came from Africa. And you got motherfuckers, history teachers teaching this shit. You got professors teaching this shit. You got uppity motherfuckers with all kind of degrees teaching this shit, right? And it's all bullshit and watered down bullshit because what I got is oral traditions. I got ancient traditions going on, right? We can see what they showing what they did to us. They keep on going. Look at them. Look at it. Chihuahua Indian school. They naming them shit. Look, now nigga inside. Them Indian, what them is? Vietnamese motherfucker. Okay? And they gave them our land too. And they put them on the reservations so they can gamble and they can do the hard rocks on them. That's how they able to do it. They put them in the reservations and get them the tax-free exempt shit so they'll keep the secret. Okay? Remember, Indian reservations, don't pay taxes. Yeah, you keep the secret. Pastors, y'all don't pay the taxes. Why? They keep the secret. They got the secret with the government. When people buffooneries, they pieces of shit. Okay? We gonna learn something at Dirtcoast motherfucking University. Yeah, we gonna learn something when this bell here ring, man. Know what I'm saying? Remember, another thing too, when we look at this, when y'all looking at this shit too, always pay attention to attire. Always pay attention to attire. Anciently, you know what we wore? Anciently? Do y'all know what we wore anciently? Fabric always give the shit away too. Fabric is gonna give it away every time. Okay? Fabric-wise, we wore let's see. The clothing of enslaved people were primarily dictated by the slaveholders, prioritizing functionality, low cost, and durability over comfort and ethnicity. The allotment and quality of the clothing varied depending on person's work assignment, with domestic labor generally receiving higher quality attire than field hands. Okay, let's see what fabric was. Most common textile, often called Negro clothes or slave cloth, were coarse and inexpensive. Examples: rough, unbleached linen. Linen is what, people? Linen is breathing. It make your nuts breathe. Guess what hurt you? Guess what get all your ball cancer, all you niggas with prostate? You know a lot of prostate coming from? Cotton. I don't want no cotton drawers. You nigga wearing cotton drawers. And you bitches, what y'all doing so y'all nigga wearing cotton drawers, man? Y'all ain't motherfucker, y'all ain't sucking on nothing real, man. This dick don't get no cotton drawers. You know what I'm saying? We motherfucking breathe down here. We linen up, man. You know what I'm saying? We silk, baby. Right? Right? Because it's from the land. Our ancestors did that, and we fucked with denim too back then, even though we were slave quarters. Let's see what some of our other fabrics was, okay? Cotton wrap or woolen, because we fucked with that cotton. But you know, cotton is a restriction for us. Cotton weakens our ass. We electrical beings. Cotton is a disintegrator of electric. So if you're wearing cotton, you getting sick. But all the healthy people out there, oh, I don't eat this no more. Oh, I cut back on this. But I say, motherfucker, you got on all cotton. And you taking a shower. What you think coming out the water fountain? You got 90-degree pipes in your house, plumbing. Go read what 90-degree pipes, and go in the suburbs, and you see they got them 45-degree, they got them curved pipes going in their house. They water don't even have no trauma going to it. Pipes make trauma. If you run down a hallway and that bitch got a 90-degree angle, you have to slow down and turn, right? If not, you're gonna run smack into the thing. So imagine water coming down your pipeline, and that's chaos, crash. Now that water is traumatized, and it's coming down your pipes and coming in your head. But people talking about what the fuck they eat. I be laughing like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be shit, nigga. But back to it. Fabric. So these people that they showed in those images I just showed you with the Indian school, this is Western style fabric. This is European style fabric. We didn't wear this. We didn't wear collars, y'all. Collars come from the European colonies, people. That's why I don't like suits to this motherfucking day. I always wonder why I ain't like no motherfucking suits. Because anciently, we didn't wear no motherfucking collars or nothing up here fucking around with our shit, man. Okay? We would fuck around in that cotton, man. I mean that denim and shit, that good shit. Okay? Look at these boys right here. Look at these niggas right here, man. That nigga like my cousin right there while you bullshit. These slave codes, that nigga, I bet that's like lamb pie. I bet that's in North Carolina. Boy, that look just like lamb pie right there. That might be my motherfucking cousin lamb pie. Well, that look like that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, but certain things they can't get over on us, man, because we should know better. We didn't put collars on our shirt. That's a European thing, okay? We didn't have lapels, none of that shit. That's European, okay? Before they got over here, nigga, we had leaves, hemp leaves around us and shit, okay? We were kind of like you see some of them pictures how they show the Indians and shit. They be out, not like naked like they showing you too, because we just dress up and get gold and the chiefs, you know who the chief was because he had the big, shit on getting down. But yeah, the stories they telling, they don't even match up with some of the shit they doing. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they even label a lot of us like black people. They call them black or like Indians. That's not even Indian. They'll do that shit sometimes. Okay. Now, before the 1900s, what they were calling us. Before the 1900s, they wasn't even calling us no African Americans. Okay? We didn't even become African American until the late 60s and 70s. Y'all know this, right? Okay? If you go to Africa, go talk to some people in Africa and listen to the ones that discuss moral traditions. They never even heard of no goddamn people being transported from Africa to here. Go talk to a real African. They don't even teach this story in their school systems. Right? They say they hear this story when they get to the United States. Right? Okay? That's the crazy part. Let's see when they use the term. Let's see when they start using the term. Term African American, okay? Don't get my word for it. We'll Google some shit. We're gonna. Here we go right here. Wham. Should we start from the top? No, let's get right into it. Fuck that. Oh, no, fuck. We'll start from the top. The term African American refers to Africans or African descent. Historically, it has been used to affirm the community's heritage. Throughout its meaning and preference have evolved over time. Historic context and evolution. The use of the different identities of African descent in the United U.S. reflects shifts in social and political dynamics. What you want, big dog? Test me it. Test me what you want me to do. Reflects in social and political dynamics. Okay, the early republic, the late 1700s, the term African was adopted by early black organizations to emphasize their ancestral roots. So in the 1700s, it was adopted, the term African, okay? So we weren't even saying, before the 1700s, well, we had ancestors over here. They weren't even saying, they didn't even say nothing about no motherfucker, they from Africa. According to this shit, okay? So y'all stop saying it. Before the 1700s, the term African, that shit was adopted by the early black organization to emphasize their ancestral roots, okay? Then you got the civil rights era, and what I told y'all about that civil rights shit versus unalienable rights. It's your right, but I prefer unalienable rights. During the civil rights era, activists used the term black to replace older offensive words like Negro and color. This was rejected of the past and embraced as a positive, undefined identity. So here we go in the 1960s, when they do all that walking and getting beat on the head and bullshitting around with Martin Luther King, they adopted the term black and say, no, quit calling the Negro and quit calling us colors, okay? Boom. Now, in the late 1980s, who made the term African American, y'all? Reverend Jesse Jackson, along with other community leaders, led a push for a worldwide adoption of what? African American, okay? So, who named y'all that? Let the people say it. Jesse Jackson, nigga. Right? We reading this shit, right? Jesse Jackson is the one that told y'all niggas y'all African American. Wow. 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 A coonball. And you know what they say about him? He set up the other coonball, Martin Luther King. Him and Al Sharpton and them. So you know we got some real coonballs around us, man. Okay? Let's begin. Let's keep on. Let's keep on. Keep on saying y'all niggas, oh, we from Africa, okay? You asking me with the immigration hole. Could be with the immigration hole. But the Africans gotta lead. An African, they gotta get the fuck on too. You ain't from here, remember? Uh-oh, y'all heard of this? Your hereditary rights are entitlements such as inheritance or titles that are passed down from a person to a legal what? Heir. By what? Birthrights or laws. If y'all go pull up your boy Trump, right? The last week. Go listen to what he's saying. Saying the same shit. He said you're gonna have to prove your right to this land by blood. He just made this announcement, okay? He's saying to move forward and to do land grants and to get land from here on out on this spot, you gotta get rid of the motherfucking immigrants over here first that's using up all the bullshit, the credit and all the stamps and all the goddamn shit they getting them. Democrats, get their ass up out of here. When we get them ass up out of here, we're gonna get back to this. Your hereditary rights, okay? Your hereditary right, okay? Right? This applies to two main contexts: the cession of property and assets, okay? And the transfer of the what? Monarchy or title. They gotta give all that shit back. They gotta give all the land back. I've been showing people them. Canada, go pull up, the Pope went to Canada and announced that they apologized to Canada and gave the right back, named 2 tribes who could claim their rights back to the land of Canada. The Pope just did this shit, okay? But all this shit going on, and niggas supposed to be getting their rights back too. But they won't never be able to get it because they won't do no studying. They is too busy worrying about other bullshit. And this what's really going on behind the scenes. Or no, it's going on right out in front. It's going on right out in front. This what's going on right here, y'all. Now, you go pull this shit up and you can go see how he telling about, no, bitch, y'all got to be real Indian. You can't be $5 Indians no more. White people can't go pay $5. White people cannot do this no more, guys. They can't pay $5, okay, to be falsely enrolled on the Dawes Rolls list. White people can't do that no more. They used to be able to pay and say they was Indian. But they knew what came with saying that because they knew how to get the land grants and get the grants to get the land. Okay? Right? If we was all slaves like they said, remember people, remember too. If we was all slaves like they said, how we got rights to the property? Slaves couldn't have rights. They couldn't have ownerships. They couldn't read or write, remember people? It ain't making no sense, right? We weren't allowed to participate in banking system back then, okay? Remember, they locked us out the banking systems. We couldn't read. We couldn't write. Remember, they did all this shit to us to take the land back, right? To take the land back, okay? They did all this shit to take the land back, right? Okay? If they did this, right? They did all that to us. I'm trying how to write this in the thing. I make some crazy notes. I'm explaining how to make the computer understand what I'm saying. Okay, hold on, okay. Yeah, okay, let me answer this. Okay, I got it. Who's the largest, yeah. Give me people, I wrote that wrong. I wrote it wrong like I thought. Bear with me, people. I remember. Damn, I've been on a long ass time. Okay. Wow. Now, if they said we were slaves, right? And they had a feet on our neck. Remember, we couldn't do no banking. We couldn't do none of that bullshit, right? We couldn't read, we couldn't write, we couldn't have no books. Well, explain this to me. In 1910, and with that word again, African Americans owned a peak tube of 16 to 19 million acres of farmland. Okay? Not in 1900. While precise figures of 1900 are harder to pinpoint, it's clear from the census and the historical data that the amount of land owned by African Americans was steadily increasing in the decades after the Civil War. So in the 1900s, you niggas had more land than anybody in the United States. What happened? Think y'all know what happened? Anybody want to guess what happened? I'll tell you what happened. Martin Luther King them ushered in is what happened. You start losing the land during the civil rights era. Everywhere that nigga went and protested and played, they burnt down shit and beat up niggas and beat sick dogs on niggas. Okay? Even to my days when I came up, man, we go to Joe Wright's store right there on the corner of Division and South Street and give Joe Wright a letter and say, hey, man, mama said, man, we need some grits up out of this bitch, some Chico stick, some Boston hedges, and some Benjamin hedges. We buy cigarettes and everything for mama at 10. Go to mama center store, go buy some snuff, Benjamin hedges, and Levi Garrett, motherfucker. Okay? And didn't need no money. Walked right out the motherfucking store. He said, tell mama I was there Friday. Right? But you got the man golden and Chinese people in that bitch. You making a motherfucking thing out that bitch, boy. You motherfucking boy. I wish you motherfucking would go to that Chinese store in the hood talk about motherfucking get something about that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Right? Goddamn. We still on this land. They just classify as the heirs to the land, the sharecroppers, right? To the land. But what they did to get the land is what they lock people up for doing right now. It's called salvage rights. They made this thing up called, this is how they got our land. They said, God damn it. It's a thing called salvage right. We never heard of this, salvage right? You done heard of play around with a junkyard. They get your ass with salvage right too. Have your car in a, you got a nice car or something you like, have that bitch in a mechanic shop or somewhere and you go to jail or die. They gonna put this law on you, okay? This how they got us. Savage law is a body of international and U.S. admiralty law that governs operations to rescue ships, cargo, and other maritime property from peril of incentives volunteers to perform these searches through a system of onward rather than outward ownership than same property. The core principle requires a marine peril, a voluntary service by a seller, a success in whole and part in saving the property, while a salvage award determines the factors like the value of property, the salver's skills, the degree of danger, environment. Notice they keep saying shit about ships. Guess what a partnership is, y'all? It puts you in that world. It got ship in it, don't it? What a relationship is, y'all. Puts you in this world, okay? So with salvage rights, they saying that we are a vessel at sea, right? And we lost that sea, like half of motherfuckers is. You're a vessel at sea. The laws, maritime law, okay? So when you're a vessel at sea and your property, anything they recover, and you don't know the right terms of the law, they're using wordplay on you to put you in a certain jurisdiction and responding to you because you don't know the wordplay. They can't play with me with no wordplay. I make their ass run. I love seeing them. You know what I'm saying? But this is what they was doing to us, okay? So they made this thing called squatter rights that come with savage laws. It's called squatter rights. That's them. They made that. But now they get mad at niggas for squatting. They mad at people for squatting. But that's how they took the land. They made up squatter rights. That's their law. They made up. Now they mad at people, nobody. And guess who got on to the salvage? Guess who got on to the squatters' rights? The immigrants. The immigrants, man, they had courses on that shit. They were telling the immigrants when they came over here, they knew how to come over here and get the houses. They knew how to come in and get the money before they even get over here to the United States. Using the same thing our ancestors left for us to use, but we don't know how to use it either. Right? We already learned the banking fraud. We already learned the credit card fraud and learn that shit. Then to learn this shit, and it ain't no fraud in it. It's grants and it's gifts. And a lot of this stuff come through your heritage that your ancestors already left here. It's already left. They turned the money and all the stuff, and your ancestors turned the stuff in 1933. I'm pretty sure everybody that I know that from this land had people here in 1933. Your ancestors already turned the money in. They know it too. And it's interest on it and everything, okay? But they giving you the right to learn these laws, to learn these stuff and go claim it. You have to claim it. You have to get back into your family. You got to start talking to the elders in your family. Learning who hold the grants. Man, my partner them right there sitting here with me just came from a funeral in South Carolina. The whole town is named after their last name, right? Then he showing me the pictures. They got the billionaire white boy in there who married into the family. I tell the nigga, the white boy, they family know all about this shit. Nigga, y'all family last name, they don't even know that's y'all shit. But y'all don't know the proper way to go back and claim it, because that's what's going on right now. They making the new laws coming out, they putting gold back on the standards, you know what I'm saying? Silver back on the trade and bargain. Remember, they took the gold in 1933 and gave us this fake ass money. But Florida was the first state, ground zero, where the Dawes Rolls happened. Why we had to kick it back off, put gold back on the market. Florida did it first, because Florida won the war. Florida won kicked their ass. The Gullah Indians, we kicked their ass. They never could take this shit over. So you hear Charlemagne the God giving out the secrets. Oh, Florida, the craziest people in the world is Harlem and all Florida. But people don't know Harlem is ancient too. It's the Renaissance. It's ancient. See, but Charlemagne gonna kick these things out, but he on a syndicated thing, but that's a tool he giving out. He say the crazy people in the world are from Harlem and all of Florida. Because Florida is what kicked ass the whole time when the war was kicking out. It's a ground zero. We kicked ass. Okay? That's why Florida accepted everywhere we go. Dr. Dre was bad till they came to Florida. Death Row them bad till they got down here to Florida. She was getting shot all in the ass, kicked in the ass in Miami. He wasn't nothing here. Got to Georgia and got shot. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, we are this ground zero. They could never win the war here. All they could do was chop down our big ass trees and try to suffocate us that way. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they couldn't do nothing without you go trace the wars back and challenge the war. I mean, just go see these wars. They call them Seminole Wars. They happen right here on our land, right on the other side of Okeechobee. All that down in Everglades, Okeechobee, where they put that prison at, that was already there. That's where the war was fought at. These is ancient burial grounds. I mean, these ancient historical grounds where this shit happening at. Where Warren Sapp got Okeechobee and all that shit. Nigga, these ain't that where we fought these motherfuckers at. Right? Everything they call fort is where they set up at. Everything they call them fort, they left their signs too. Everything they call them fort is where they was. Where they came and rode on them. Fort Myers, Fort Pierce. They set up forts there. Okay? So we got to learn, man. We got to start teaching this stuff to our youth. A lot of them getting it. They know. We got to be better. Teaching start from home, too. That's why we got to have the oral tradition. We got to start going back, getting around the elders in the family, and they'll start telling you way more of this stuff than I can ever tell you. Okay? Because these people, remember, how you think the older people can look at you and say, you know what? That motherfucker's just like Uncle Earl. Boy, she had just like Auntie such and such. See, when them babies come back around and that spirit come around, the elders will tell you who they is. Oh, you got to watch that one now. But that's how you're supposed to take them around. Okay? Because we ain't doing nothing but repeating the cycle. Repeating that bitch over and over and over. All the stars, they ain't just no stars for no reason. These people already got their artifacts up. They don't let us see it all. Right? They don't let us see it all. But these people got artifacts of everybody we see. Like Kobe and them, they be knowing who the fuck these motherfucking niggas is, man. And these people is everybody we see. I don't give a fuck. Queen Latifah, all them, everybody they show us that we get to see, they already are ancient beings, man. I don't know where I got these pictures. They shitting me pictures of the show and everything. Somebody they fucking with it. Wow. I try to pull this out. I don't know how y'all sitting this. All right, I don't know how y'all sitting this. I'm just trying to pull out the... Yeah, this is interesting right here, but it goes on to show what I was saying. I can't pull that up. I don't know how they ain't pulling that up. I'm typing the same thing. Oh, I got it. Hold on. Is this it? Trade all time. I think this is it right here. I got it. Yep, this is it right here. Oh, no, that ain't it. Oh, here we go. This some, you see these here? You see these here? Not on the right. These one on the right, I'm going. On the right. Yeah, see this here? They already done walked the planet before. See this shit? They already done walked the planet before. There's someone. See who that is? Who that nigga, got that nigga name, man. Everybody we see. Everybody we see. See this shit? You the nigga with the eye? What the nigga with the eye name? Forgot his goddamn name, man. I forget these people fucking name. But see this? Look at this shit. You motherfucker done been here before, man. Look at that. See what brought I test him? That's why he named himself. Remember, he went back, he named himself, right? Metal World Peace. Remember Tyson found out his heritage. And when they put the thing on his face, right? He knew he'll tell you, bitch, I'm an ancient warrior. He'll say it. Tyson will say the name sometime. Yeah, they learn themselves. You know, they got the money to go and do the whole shebang thing, right? Kevin Garnett, them. All of them. Everybody. They don't walk the planet before, man. So have you. So have myself. Okay? That's why they want to know, who are you? Okay? There's a lot of this stuff coming back. A lot of this things is coming back, right? And remember, all the, like, nobody owned nothing. You trace back our ancestors, we couldn't sell houses. We couldn't buy property. Legally, you can't sell or buy nothing. Nobody owned nothing. Who you bought the land from? God owned the land. You bought it from God. It's God's land. Okay? So, ancient-wise, we was not allowed to sell or do no buying on the property. You've seen somewhere that was empty, nobody there, you built on it. You raised your family on it, okay? Land ownership in America didn't start till like the 1600s. Before 1492, before Christopher Columbus got here, we ain't know nothing about no working or none of that shit. We ain't have to. It's a land on the milk and honey. Okay? And this weekend, we're finna get out of here. This weekend is Labor Day. And once again, the only people on this planet that does labor is women when they're having a baby. Okay? Labor is when you're going in the hospital to have a baby. That's Labor Day. So the only people on this planet that does the work are women. They're the only one that work. Okay? So I love y'all babies. Y'all the one make this goddamn planet go round. Y'all are the best thing that ever happened, ever. Okay? And next week, it won't be there. With school closed next week. We be getting down next week. I'll be filming some movies and all kind of shit next week. But if you ain't doing that tomorrow, 8 o'clock, Nobody Safe Podcast or YouTube. Sunday, 8 o'clock, Goulash Show, YouTube. Okay? And, I didn't do none of the damn, I didn't do none of the people. I didn't do none of the damn thing. Damn. Shit. Boy, I'm so sorry. Let me, these people pay me. I got to do this real quick. Goddamn. Oh, man, if you need a tree service, you give my boy Pew's Outdoor Tree Service, man. Tree removal, stump grinder, pruning, cleaning. Oh, man, 407-431-2809. That's 407-431-2839. Pew's Outdoor Incorporated. Give him a bro. ASAP, please. What we got right here? Okay, yeah, we got my boy, too. The Era Smoking. Xavion is out right now on all platforms. Hey, man, we bringing this thing to Tampa and, Plant City somewhere. But please, go Google this and do what you got to do. Give my boy the Air of Smoking. Y'all gonna look, and look who he put that. That's my grandbaby name, too, Air. So the Air of Smoking, look what he's saying. God damn, he the Air of Smoking. Boy, that's a bad CD. Get that motherfucker right now. Please, that's a bad. Your lady gonna love that. One time for Raymond Customs, she keep us nice and sharp with the apparel I got on, my Dirtcoast logo with my drips on it, and it's bleeding right here. A Raymond Customs, get with her. She on all platforms, and it's going down. Hey, if you need some fingerprinting going on for my people, man, get with her. Mobile service. She fingerprint scan. Employment, license, immigration. Y'all know y'all better get over that immigration shit. They getting you monkey asses up out of here. Y'all gotta leave so we can get our shit. State and federal submissions, ink fingerprint card, and light scan. And she also does parenting thing for your jits, man. Don't just sign them things. Go get that DNA done and test it the right way so you'll be real and you'll be safe. You know what I'm saying? So you know it's yours. You won't think it's yours. Hey, you need this thing. Automechanic, he mobile, come right to you. He do it all. Brakes, general repair, tune-up, electrical, tires, suspension, mobile, transmission, electrical, cars. And he's good, and he's certified, and he's insured. He went to school for this, man. Y'all hit him up. 689-340-2224. 689-340-2224. Bam! You're gonna get it. Okay? One more. Get with them. These are my people. Hey, you gotta tell them, I referred you guys. Dirtcoast Los, okay? Because he's saying when he's with the bullshit, I should have free ones by now. Okay? But he's still we're gonna do business. But by now I know what we're gonna write it down this time. Call my boy, 888-999-6954. You must say Dirtcoast Los sent me. Oh, damn, I said it wrong. 888-999-6951. 888-999-6951. That's Orlando 420 Doctor, man. He pretty cool, too, man. Hey, I should be getting my free ones pretty soon. Get with them, okay? And that's so you can be legitimate and do like I do, smoke right in front of their goddamn face. They pull me over, I go into immediate anxiety attack and have to roll up. It works every time, okay? And I got to get one for my main boy. He's been looking out for us. Appreciate you, man. This is for y'all dog lovers. You know what I'm saying? If you want your dog to have that good skin, you want to be support some health, they have his guts right, his immune system, you know what I'm saying? It elevates the pain. It improves mobility, promote healthy skin. Let me tell you something. It builds lean muscle mass. It's K9 Pro Series complete. And I promise you guys, some of you niggas and bitches can eat it too. Skin, I see y'all in. So, Ben, next week, love y'all. Stick around for it, man. Dirtcoast Podcast. Ben, you see us 4-7 studios right there. It's going down. Love y'all. Till we meet again next week. We out of here. Look at some of this ass, man. Dirtcoast, we looking good. Bam, we gone. Fuck you.